This here, this breeze.
Serious.
Yeah, man. That's too it's tall. You know want to walk on it much so. Growing a tree, Baba. Yeah man, it's growing a tree. We go pick it, you know. Oh, so it's up good for your nerves, man. With molasses and honey also. Natural way to just juice it. With lime also. Good for your nerves, good for your health, good for all your dick.
Yeah, man. As long as you're not jamming with the fuckery, you know, here, these dreads, definitely not going like that. Ras Mokko, Ras Kitchen, 45-year-long dreadlocks. Insane. You never run into somebody with dreads this long in North America. I swear. To achieve this, you need the tropical climates, the Caribbean culture. And as we see here on Ras Mokko, his locks are essentially two big congos, one coming down from each side of his head. And obviously in the years past, these were more individual locks, but as the time comes along, they congoed up, and now they're basically two dreads straight down to the floor. Even crazier than Damian Marley has rocked it in the past and current stage. And looking at his scalp, you can see that there's actually a lot of short little dreads on the scalp. These would have been ones that broke off, ones that didn't really make it into the Congo on the side. And we can also see some hair coloring from the sun happening. And don't forget about the beard that is kind of dreaded up a little bit also. Again, what we see here from the top is some breakage / shorter locks on the crown that is happening. A little bit of balding happening at the front as well, but the length is still there in those side congos as he has them tied back in this photo. And do know that his dreads are not smooth. They're very like frizzy / woolly like, where we don't get this cylindrical symmetrical look from manicured locks, these being freeform locks of 40 plus years. Takes an insane amount of dedication to keep them growing on your head for this long. Now, the interesting part about Ras Mokko is that his dreads are 7 feet long. And when you got dreads longer than your human self, you have issues and mainly need to keep them tied up all the time. And Ras Mokko, being a creative culinary master, he's very creative in the frugal arts as well, and making tams out of spare material is what we see Mokko doing quite often. For example, in this photo, this tam seems to be made out of what seems to be an old sweater of some sort. Maybe it was an old scarf or an old blanket, but a piece of wool now used as a tam for his dreads. Again, on the DIY tip, when your hair is susceptible of getting wet in the Jamaican downpours, a plastic bag seems to be a garbage bag here. Seems to work well to cover these 7-foot long dreadlocks from getting wet. And it reminds me of the DIY shower cap that I've often pulled off out of grocery bags in the shower. Same rules apply here. Ras Mokko not given 0 fucks, no fuckery about what people think about his style. You gotta big up yourself for that every time. On closer inspection, it may not be as much of a plastic bag as much as it is a piece of spandex or some sort, maybe even an old pant leg, something like that. He's got some paint on there as well. Jamaica colors, tying his dreads around his head. Duly noted. And one last time on a DIY tam, one of my favorites I've come across on Ras Mokko is the Calvin Klein DIY boxer brief tam, where it's obviously just being sewn at the legs opening, so he can wear this pair of boxers on his head as a tam. So frugal, I love it. This is what actually got me to love Ras Mokko, was seeing his Calvin Klein tam, and I swear I want to try it out one day. I think we're gonna have to do the DIY Calvin Klein tam challenge one day here on the channel. I couldn't let this character run by the dread review without mentioning his beard. The dreadlock beard kind of coming in here, very scraggly, and you can actually see some dreads forming in his beard, little twists, and I'm sure his beard is already years old, and it's going to be a slow process to see some dreads happening here, but people do love to see the dreadlock beard from time to time. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below about the dread beards and the underwear tam. When it comes time to washing these 7-foot 45-year-long dreadlocks, a basket will help, as we see here, to help him carry the heavy locks when they're wet. Maybe he could wash them in the bowl as part of his process. But looking at his length here, his locks actually look pretty healthy. Like, we've got some sun dyeing, discoloration happening, but the length, the thickness, he's not really going bald at the top. It's looking really great. And lastly here, just a shot to show you his length on the dreads. And do note that he is maybe a foot above the ground in this photo, and his hair is touching the ground, hanging off the edge here. So we see that his locks are longer than himself. And he must be around 6 feet tall, if anything, for his dreads to be 7 feet. Insane length, insane dedication. And the question is, do you have the patience to reach Ras Mokko's goals, dread goals? Seriously though, I'm gonna sign off, leaving you guys here with a quick video on how Ras Mokko actually ties his hair up on his forehead in the tam. Let's go.
And the other day with the whole energy world thing and it's the thing we have to be thankful, you know what I mean? We have to be thankful. Cash coming up next.
Preservative, no artificial coloring at new low prices.
It's $4.59, just a little while away from cash.
It's been a beautiful day. Yeah, man. Have a wonderful time, wonderful day we have today. Yeah, man.
The nation.